What's going on, everybody? Robert back here again with another video for you guys. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about saving money, especially in times that we're in right now with the market being so crazy and volatile. Seems like everybody's going nuts, and probably money's got a lot to do with that. We're going to talk about how you guys can get your finances in order as truck drivers, make the most with what you're making right now, and you guys will see it doesn't matter what you're making as a truck driver. You could be making $70,000, $60,000. Shoot, you could be making $150,000 a year, and it really doesn't matter as long as you're saving money and investing that money. All right, guys, so it's no secret that truck drivers are probably not the best at saving money. We do like to ball out sometimes, you know? When you come back home with making those big paychecks, you know what I'm talking about, that oil-filled money or that truck driving money where you're making probably more than let's say a doctor at the VA, or probably your next door neighbor that probably works a 9-to-5 job. We like to ball out sometimes, but most of the time that's not always the best thing, all right? Going out and buying a new truck, big old house and stuff, that's really not sustainable, and you probably shouldn't be doing it, guys. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how you can save money for your future and what to invest in and what's the most safest investments to make for your retirement. So if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so that you guys will get notified every single time that I put a video out. Truck drivers are not the only one in this group. Most Americans can't come up with $1,200 for an emergency if they were ever to, say, run into an emergency in life. And a lot of people in America do live paycheck to paycheck. It's not something new. And a lot of that is because they're really not financially educated on what they should do with their money. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So guys, it really comes down to budgeting your money. No matter what you're making as a truck driver, it really comes down to cutting back on unnecessary expenses. Now, I'm not saying like your mortgage rate right now, trying to refinance that, because obviously interest rates are extremely high right now and it just doesn't make any sense to refi. So we're talking about things that you can control. So that being like a truck payment or a car payment. Can you sell those and maybe get something that's maybe not expensive? That's something that you can control. Now, when it comes to everyday budgeting, what are you spending at the grocery store? Do you have to go buy that big old steak every night, or can you just eat hot dogs, hamburgers, maybe do something homemade? Or something that people have problems with also is eating out too much, right? I am guilty of this. I used to eat out a lot with my family just because I didn't feel like cooking at home, but it is astronomical how much money you will spend going out to eat nowadays, especially with inflation as high as it is right now. I just wouldn't recommend it, guys. So that's something that you could cut back on. Going out for entertainment, right? Are you guys going out to the movies every weekend with your family, every day, every other day, whatever it may be, whenever you're home? What are you guys spending on entertainment, right? Maybe it might be a better idea just to stay at home, play a board game with the kids or something like that, but try to cut back on entertainment costs, because a lot of the money that gets spent is on entertainment and eating out. So I know everybody says this, like budgeting is a big deal, and yes, it is a big deal. Everybody should have a budget. You should know exactly how much money that you make every single month, and also how much money you're spending every single month. And every single dollar should have a job to do. Once you figure out how much you make every single month, you then need to figure out how much are your bills every month, like your mortgage, your car payment, cell phone bill, electricity, water, gas, all of that stuff. You need to know exactly what that costs you pretty much to live. And then after that, you can kind of set a budget of how much you want to spend on entertainment. And I promise you guys, you need to be saving money. Ideally, it would be necessary for you to save like 20 to 30% of your paycheck every single month, but I know that's unrealistic. So whatever you can save is what you can save, and something is better than nothing. Now that you're saving money and you've come up with a budget and a plan for your financial future, the next thing that you're going to need to do is come up with an emergency fund. I cannot say enough how important an emergency fund is, especially with the times that we're living in right now, with inflation being so high and everything so volatile. You could lose your job tomorrow, and if you don't have anything saved, that could either ruin your life or it could save your life if you have an emergency fund. So in this emergency fund, you would need enough money saved up that it would sustain you for 3 months, or if you wanted to get crazy, obviously 6 months. But 3 months is perfectly fine. You guys are truck drivers. You probably have a job within a month or so, just because we got it like that, guys. Now, when it comes to investing, remember, wealth really lies in assets, right? So if index funds are real easy to buy, you know, obviously a lot easier than say owning real estate or anything, but I would invest your money into something. And for me, I like real estate. I think that it's proven itself time and time again to be a great wealth builder. And, you know, right now is probably not the best time to buy real estate. So maybe save up some money, and then once the market crashes, go buy as much real estate as you can. But for you guys that are looking for retirement or something that's sustainable in retirement, I can say that I would not rely on any company for a 401k plan. Now, if your company does supply you like a 401k or Roth IRA or something, definitely take advantage of it. But I would not put more in than what they're matching. So if they're going to match it 100%, then put as much as you can in. Or if they don't match it all, I wouldn't even worry about it. Don't bother with it. It's probably not worth it. Now, for myself, what I like to invest in a lot is what's called an index fund. And basically an index fund is the S&P 500. So it's like 500 different companies that are all packed into this index fund, or what's called an index fund. And then you can buy literally every single part of those 500 companies. And that's usually what I buy, is an index fund from Vanguard. And that's usually enough to beat inflation and really to ensure that your money has the most buying power, even with inflation being high. An index fund will give you a wide variety of different companies. And if one company does bad, you have all those 499 companies that can then boost up for that company doing pretty badly. And over time, index funds do really well. It's definitely a long-term investment. It's something that you would invest in for your retirement. And it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's nothing like that. It's something that you would then buy, hold for 30, 40 years. But I've always thought that, you know, relying on a company for your retirement is probably not the best thing. You guys should really be taking advantage of doing this yourselves and saving for your own retirement. But that's just one thing that you can invest in. Obviously, you know, right now real estate's probably not a good thing to buy. You could probably find some good deals and stuff, but I would kind of stay away from real estate right now just because the interest rates being so high. It's going to be hard to leverage money or even get a loan without having to pay a high price for the property. And then also you get stuck with that high interest rate, which doesn't make any sense. So for me, I like to play it a little conservatively, but that's just me. These are just a couple of ideas that you can do to save money or put your money in assets, invest your money. Now, what are some ways that you can save money? So one way that you could save money is if you find something that you really like at a store or something, I wouldn't go and buy it right away. Leave it there, go home, sleep it off, and then the next day, if you still want it, then go ahead and buy it at that time. But most of the time, it's just a dopamine hit, and if you find something like, say, you don't really need, and you like really want it at the time, it's the dopamine getting in your head, guys. It's not like you really need it. It's up here, all right? So if you just leave it alone, go home, sleep it off, and then the next day, if you still want it, then go ahead and buy it. But you will be surprised how many things you don't buy, especially like large purchases, just by doing this little tip. Now, the next thing you can do, or next tip to save money, is do like a dollar to cost analysis of everything that you buy. For example, I like to use a new TV or something like that, right? Say if you want a new TV for your office or your truck or whatever it may be, and let's say that TV costs $100. I'm just trying to use the easiest numbers that I can, okay? So if you buy a TV for $100 and say you only use that TV twice, just know that every time that you use that TV, it literally costed you $50, all right, since you only used it twice. Now, if you use it 4 times, then it costs you $25 every single time that you use that TV. Now, if you do this, say if you run into a large purchase like a TV for the office or a TV for your bathroom, I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm just throwing it out here. It doesn't have to be a TV. It could be anything. If you're only going to use it once or twice and it's expensive, what is the point of buying it? All right, for you truck drivers out there, now another way that us as truck drivers can save money for sure is not eating at truck stops. Truck stops are extremely expensive and it just wastes your money, guys. You can pack your lunch, pack your food, stock up your truck, go to Walmart before you start your trip, or if say you've been on the road for a while, go and drop the trailer, get a lock to put on the trailer, go to Walmart, get some food, put it in your truck. Stop eating at truck stops. Now, the next tip that I can give you truck drivers for saving money is don't be using your debit card. What I mean by that is pull out cash at the beginning of every single week. Let's say if you want to budget yourself to $200, or if you want to go extreme, $100, whatever budget you want to stick to, pull that out every single week and then only use cash. By using cash, you really have to think about every single purchase that you make. Let's say if you want to buy a drink at a truck stop or a 12-pack of Coke or whatever it may be, whatever you need at a truck stop, you are limited to that $200. Now, if you were using a debit card, you're constantly swiping that debit card and you're not really keeping track of how much money that you have. But keeping cash on you will definitely keep you from making unnecessary purchases, and you will definitely keep track of your money a lot better. Stop swiping the debit card. So guys, really what it comes down to is being very disciplined in your transactions and what you're spending money on, what you're buying every single week and even every single day. Making unnecessary swipes with the debit card at truck stops, eating out, McDonald's, Subways, things like that. Stock up your truck with food. Take out cash every single week. Make sure that you're sticking to a budget. Most of it is discipline. A lot of it is up here in the head. But I promise you, if you stick to these tips, you will definitely be saving money and you'll see your bank accounts growing astronomically. I promise you that. I guess all I'm saying is don't be stupid. Watch what you're doing. But guys, thank you for watching. That is the end of the video. That is all I have to say about that. Like always, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on those bell notifications so that you guys will get notified every single time that I post content on here. And until next time, keep it between the ditches.